Well, pets played a critical role in helping their parents navigate the stresses of the pandemic, but easing COVID-19 restrictions and a return to normal activities is causing anxiety for some pet parents as they leave their pets home alone more often. Joining me today to discuss results from a new survey and to share expert pet care advice is New York City's premier veterinarian and dog mom, Dr. Lisa Lippman. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, we mentioned the survey. Tell us more about the survey and what were some of the findings from it.
Yes, so the Bravo Buddy survey really unearthed some concerns that pet parents are having about this transition to their new normal. So, for example, about 2/3 of pet parents expressed concerns that their pet might feel lonely, sad, or anxious when they leave. And on the flip side, we found that about 2/3 of pet parents would have their own separation anxiety and their own guilt around leaving their pets. But what's really interesting is that we found very few of them have actually taken active steps to be able to transition their pets and themselves during this time. And so we really want to help them with this.
Absolutely. It's interesting that you mentioned that because we know that returning to normal can look different for different families. So tell us some of the things that you have seen during your years of expertise and being a dog mom yourself of what returning to normal could look like for pet families, and what are some of those steps that pet parents can take to prepare their pet for the transition.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't have to tell you these are unprecedented times, right, where pet parents were spending more time than ever with their pets, and we know that this can create and harbor separation anxiety. And many of these pet parents will have to go back to an office or leave or even be more social, and this means leaving their pets more. And so things that we can do to help prevent separation anxiety would be taking incremental steps now, such as leaving your pets for short periods of time, whether that's just going to the mailbox and coming back, encouraging them to be, a little bit more independent in another room, and then slowly working your way up to more and more time. Other things you can do would be to exercise them before you leave. So a tired dog is a happy dog. Also, make sure you don't make a big deal out of goodbyes or hellos. Leave them with a very high value treat. You can leave them with some music playing. All of these things are really significant steps you can take to help them transition.
Those are some very wonderful ideas. Now, what about when those ideas are when people are still on the fence about them? What should people do if they're still not sure how to best prepare their pet for this transition?
Yeah, and that's a great question because there's no way I can cover everything here. So I am so excited that I have partnered with Merck Animal Health to create a pet parent guide that goes through all of the scenarios with many different suggestions on how to best transition their pet.
Wonderful. I will definitely have to check that guide out. And also, there's a new social media contest for furry friends as well. Tell us a little more about that.
Yes, I love it. It's really phenomenal. So it gives 12 pet parents, a chance to win 12 weeks of pet care. These are packages valued at $2,500. All they have to do is post a photo or a video of their cat or dog on Instagram. Use the hashtag Bravo Buddy Sweepstakes. Tell us a little bit about why your pet helped you through the pandemic, and we'll help you with the rest.
I love that. And for the guide that you mentioned, as well as more information about the contest and more helpful tips on where can people go for additional information?
Yeah, so they can find the Pet Parent Guide on my Instagram at Dr. Lisa Lippman. They will be the first to know as soon as it launches there. And the sweepstakes at bravecto.com/BravoBuddy.
Thank you so much for that. And again, be sure to follow Dr. Lisa Lippman on her Instagram with wonderful tips, as well as to stay tuned for that launch of the Pet Care Guide. That's sure going to come in handy for these upcoming months to come. Thank you so much for joining me today, Doctor. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, me too. Thanks so much for having me.